Hello students, as in the last lecture, we started with the concept of exercise number 2.2. As 2.2 exercise, it is based on annuity as I told, and the first exercise it is based on insurance. We saw the concept based on the exercise number 2.2, where we saw four important formula. The first one, it was accumulated value, how to find accumulated value, then present value, then the relation between A and P, and then annuity due. So this four formula we saw, and we had completed first four sums of your exercise, and I hope you all understood the sums and how to convert N and R whenever they use the word halfly, quarterly. Okay, so now let's move on to some few more sums. Okay, that is a question number fifth. As first four question of your exercise, it was based on the accumulated value. The fifth one, when you will see here, which we have to find the present value, yes or no? And even sixth one also, we have to find the present value. Okay, so find the present value of annuity immediate rupees 36,000 for 3 years at 9% per annum compounded annually. Here also it has mentioned annually. Okay, given value 1.09 minus 3. Okay, raised to minus 3 equal to 0.7722. So in the solution, you will write what? We have to find the present value of annuity immediate. So what do you mean by annuity immediate? It is a value of C, because whenever we have to find the present value, again this two part P and C, it will be in rupees, yes or no? So if you want to find P, of course that number which is in rupees, it will be the value of C. If you want to find C, the number which will be given, it will be the value of P. Yes or no? Same which we had did for the first four sums. Yes or no? If A is given, then that rupees will be the value of, then we have to find the value of C. If C is given, then we have to find the value of A, like that only. Okay, so here from the word we come to know that annuity immediate, what it is, the value of C. So C equals to rupees 3,600, sorry, 36,000 per annum. The value of C is 36,000 per annum. N equals to, it is given 3 years, and R equals to what? 9%, that also per annum, compounded annually. As it is compounded annually, so here no need of changing the value of R and N. So therefore I will be equals to R upon 100 equals to 9 upon 100, which is equals to 0.09. Now we have to apply the formula of P. So P equals to C upon I, yes or no? So what is the difference? The difference is what? Here we write 1 afterwards, and here we write 1 first. Okay, so 1 minus 1 plus I. Okay, note down here, raised to minus n will come. Okay, and here we have one value which is given in the question, that is 1.09 raised to minus 3. Okay, so after this simply substitute the value, as here we have to find the value of P. C is what? 36,000 upon the value of I, 0.09. 1 minus 1 plus I, so 1 plus I will be 1.09 raised to the value of n is what, 3. Okay, so 36,000 upon 0.09, 1 minus, here we have the ready-made value, that is 0.7722. Again rest, it is same, subtract, remove this decimal and then multiply. I guess the rest calculation part you can try by yourself. Okay, so that was the question number 6th. So let's move on to the question number 7th now. Sorry, that was the question number 5th. Now we'll move on to the question number 6th. So now in the question number 6th, again we have to find the present value of an ordinary annuity. As we know that the meaning of immediate, invest, ordinary, borrowed, that is one and the same, that means C. So for this sum also we have C equals to 63,000 per annum. Okay, n is equals to what, 4 years. The rate of interest is what, 14% per annum. Again it has mentioned clearly compounded annually. Here we have the value of 1.14 raised to minus 4 is equal to 0.5921. Okay, so here no need to change the value of n and r because it is compounded annually. Okay, in the question it is not mentioned halfly or quarterly anywhere. Okay, so I equals to r upon 100 equals to 14 upon 100 equals to 0.14. Okay, so again here also we have to apply the formula of present value because we have to find the present value, which is equals to P equal to C upon I, 1 minus 1 plus I raised to minus n. Okay, rest I guess you can try by yourself. Simply substitute the value. Okay, basic calculation, cancellation part. Okay, multiplication, that's it, you will get your answer. I guess you all understood the question number 6th also. Okay, so let's move on to the next question number 7th. Okay, now in the question number 7th, it says that a lady plans to save for her daughter's marriage. She wishes to accumulate a sum. Now we are accumulate the sum means we have the value of a, yes or no, because accumulate means what, a. So a is what, rupees 464100 at the end of 4 years. So n equals to what, 4 years. What amount should she invest means what, C. Of course, as I told, if accumulated value is given, then we have to find C. If C is given, then we have to find A, because this two are the only things are in rupees, and the rest, this, it is in percentage, this is in year, yes or no. So A is equals to 4,64,100 at the end of 4 years. What amount should C invest? That means we have to find the value of C. Rate of interest compounded annually. For this sum also it is clearly mentioned that we have to compound annually. Okay, so rate of interest is 10% per annum. So I equals to R upon 100. So 10 upon 100 is 0.1. Yes or no? And for this sum also we have the value 1.1 raised to 4 equals to 1.4641. Okay, so apply the formula. So A equal to C upon I, Okay, 1 plus I raised to n minus 1. Okay, now simply substitute the value. So here we have 4,64,100 C upon 0.1. 1 plus 0.1 is 1.1 raised to 4 minus 1. Okay, so therefore 464,100 equals to C upon 0.1, 1.4641. In place of this we can substitute this value, yes or no, ready-made value. So therefore 464,100 equal to C upon 0.1, 1 minus 1, it will be 0.4641, 4641. Okay, so rest, as here we have to find C, so we'll keep C here, shift all the numbers to the left hand side, so this value will come down 0.4641. Okay, got the point, understood? So after this, C equals to, as you will multiply these two numbers, so you will get 46410, because we are multiplying it with 0.1, and here we have 0.4641. Now remove the decimal, as here we have decimal after 4 place, so unit tens, 100,000, so we have to multiply it by 10,000, yes or no? So when you will multiply it by 10,000 into 10,000, so here you will get what, 4641, yes or no? And this will be 46410 into 10,000, so 4641 tens are, so 10 into 10,000, it will be 1 lakh. So here we got C is 1 lakh, so that means she must invest 1 lakh every year. And see to that in each and every sum, the last step you will mention, if they ask the accumulated value after 1 year, so you will write accumulated value after 1 year is so and so, the present value of immediate annuity is so and so. As here in this question it was mentioned that how much she invest if she get an interest of 10%. So here for this sum you will write she must invest rupees 1 lakh every year. Understood? So last part, it is very important. Okay, for that you will get half marks. Okay, don't forget to write that step. So now we had completed first 7 sums of your exercise. I guess you all understood all the 7 sums. It is very simple. Just you have to read and understand the question, understand the value of A, C, P, I, N, and just see if accumulated value is given or to find, so you will apply the formula of accumulated value. If present value or C is given or to find, so you will apply the formula of present value. So these two are the important formulas, okay, for the first 7 sum. Okay, so let's see the next sum, that is question number 8. So in the question number 8, that is what, a person want to create fund, a person want to fund create fund 6,96,150. So can I say create fund means it is the value of A. So for the question number 8, we have the value of A as 6,96,150 rupees after 4 years. So the value of N is what, 4 years. At the time of his retirement, he decided to invest a fixed amount at the end of every year in a bank that offers him interest of 10% per annum. Invest. Okay, so from the word invest, we come to know that it is C. So that means here C we have to find, yes or no. Bank offer a rate of interest that is 10% per annum. So I will be equals to R upon 100, 10 upon 100, it will be 0.1. For this sum also we have the value which is given in the textbook. Okay, that is 1.1 raised to 4, 1.4641. Okay, so here we have the value of I, sorry, value of n, 1.1, that part, yes or no, which we solve, 1 plus I, 1.4641. Okay, again you will apply the formula of accumulated value. Just now only we saw how to tackle the sum when you have A and you have to find C. Okay, the same thing you will do here also. You will write the formula, substitute the value, yes or no, shift all the numbers to the left hand side. Okay, a basic calculation, you will get the answer of C. I guess the remaining part you will solve by yourself. Okay, so now next we'll move on to the next sum, that is question number 9th. Here see to that question number 9th and 10th, it is very important sum from the exercise. Okay, so please don't skip these two sums from the exercise, that is question number 9th and question number 10th. As in the question number 9th, it says that we have to find the rate of interest. Yes, here we got something little different from the prestate sums, as here we have to find the rate of interest in the question number 9th. Compounded annually if the annuate immediate we know that it is a value of C, 20,000 per year, amount to be rupees, amount that means accumulated value. Okay, remember this. Okay, as clearly I had mentioned, amount, fund, create, accumulated, sinking fund, all the things that is known as, it is a value of A. Immediate, invest, ordinary, borrowed, it is C. So here it is 2,60,000 and 3 years. Okay, and we have to find the rate of interest for this sum. Okay, so now we'll see how to find the answer. As here we have A and C, so of course we have to apply the value of formula of A only. So A equal to C upon I, 1 plus I raised to, here we don't have the value of this section. Okay, let it be, substitute the value. So here A value is what, 2,60,000. C is what, 20,000. I we have to find, because yeah we know that I is equals to R upon 100. Without knowing the value of I, we cannot able to find R. So first thing is what, here we have to find the value of I. So this part is for to find the value of I. Okay, so 1 plus I raised to 3 minus 1. Okay, so therefore, so can I shift this I to this left hand side to the numerator and this 20,000 down denominator. So here we left with what, 1 plus I the whole cube minus 1. Okay, so here 1 2 3 4 zeros will get cancelled. So here we left with 26 upon 2. So this 26 upon 2, if you want you can cancel, you can reduce this number. 2 ones are 2, 13s are, so here we left with what, directly we can write as 13I, yes or no, equals to, here we left with 1 plus I the whole cube minus 1. So as this part look like A plus B the whole cube, so we have to apply the formula, that is A cube plus 3A square B plus 3AB square plus B cube, yes or no. So here we'll apply the formula, A cube plus 3A square B, so this will be 3I, 3AB square, so this will be I square plus I cube minus 1. So in the next step, this plus 1 and minus 1 will get cancelled. So here we left with 3I plus 3I square plus I cube, yes or no. So further we'll keep this 13i as it is, and clearly we can see that here I is common, so inside the bracket you will get 3 plus 3i plus I square. Yes or no? So here I and I will get cancelled, so here we left with 13 equals to 3 plus 3i plus I square. So therefore, so we'll bring this number to the left hand side. So here you will get what? We'll arrange this equation with respect to ah square plus ax square plus bx plus c. Yes or no? So first we'll write I square term, then 3i plus 3, then minus 13. So therefore 0 equals to I square plus 3i, 3 minus 13 will be what? Minus 10. So that is actually here we got what? Here we got one quadratic equation. As here you got the quadratic equation, so we know that how to solve a quadratic equation. Okay, just simply by splitting the middle term. So I square, so here we required plus 3 and here we have minus, so 10 we can write as what? 5 2s are, but here we have minus 10. Yes or no product? So plus and minus, as we required plus 3. Okay, so your plus 5i minus 2i minus 10 equal to 0. I hope you all might be knowing how to solve a quadratic equation by factorization method, which is known as splitting of middle term. So therefore here I is common, so inside the bracket you will get I plus 5. Here 2 is common, so inside the bracket you will get I plus 5 equals to 0. So therefore I plus 5, I minus 2 equal to 0. The remaining part I will solve here. So I plus 5 equals to 0, or I minus 2 equal to 0. So therefore I equals to minus 5 or I equals to 2. As we know that the rate of interest cannot be negative, I cannot be negative. Okay, here we can write, but I cannot be negative. So therefore we have to consider only the one value of I, that is I equals to 2. So here we got the I equals to 2, so therefore we know that I is equals to R upon 100. So therefore 2 equals to R upon 100. So therefore R will be equals to 2 into 100 will be what? 200%. So for this sum we got the answer, that is R equals to 200% what per annum. So the rate of interest is 200% per annum. Okay, so the question number 9th, it was little different sum. So here instead of finding C and A, here we have to find the value of R. Okay, apply the formula, substitute the value. Here we got this part, and this part look like A plus with the whole cube. After that, after solving this part, here we got one quadratic equation. I hope you all might be knowing how to solve a perfect quadratic equation by using factorization method. Okay, and here we got the value of R. So that means first you have to find the value of I. After that only we can find the value of R. I hope you all understood the question number 9th also. So let's move on to the next one, that is question number 10th. As I told, 9th and 10th is the only sum which is little different. Okay, so let's take the question number 10th now. Okay, so as the question number 10th, it says that we have to find the number of year. That means for this question we have to find the number of year. That means we have to find number of year for which an annuity of rupees. So what do you mean by annuity? What do you mean by annuity? Annuities mean about C. Yes or no? So for this sum the C is what? Rupees 500 paid at the end of every year if the accumulated amount is to be, that means A, rupees 1655, when interest is compounded annually, as it is mentioned compounded annually. It is not mentioned halfly, quarterly. Yes or no? So R is 10%. So I will be equals to R upon 100. So 10 upon 100, 0.1. So for this sum also we have to apply the formula of A, as here we have A and C. So A and C relation, we know that what is the formula? A equals to C upon I, 1 plus I raised to n minus 1. So therefore A is what? 1655, C is what? 500, I is 0.1. Okay, 1 plus 0.1 will be 1.1 raised to n. We have to find minus 1. Okay, I hope you all understood till here. Now shift the number. So here 1655 into 0.1 will come, and this 500 will go down, equals to 1.1 raised to n minus 1. Okay, so here 1.61655 into 0.1. So when you will multiply 1.1655 into 0.1, so here you will get 165.5 upon 500. Okay, equals to 1.1 raised to n equals to n minus 1. So here just simply divide this number by 500. So this will be what? 0. So 3 3s are 1. So 0.331 you will get after dividing these two number. So 1.1 raised to n minus 1. Now shift this minus 1 to the left hand side. So 0.331 plus 1 equals to 1.1 raised to n. So therefore this we can write as what? 1.331 equals to 1.1 raised to n. So now as here we have to find the value of n. Suppose if I say 2 raised to n equals to 8, or 2 raised to 2 raised to n equals to 4. So here what value should come that it should match with your right hand side part? So here can I say 3 should come? Okay, so then only 2 cube will be what? 8. Or else can I write this 8 as 2 cube? Yes or no? So clearly we can see that what is there in place of n? Comparing this 2 raised to n with 2 cube, so n will be what? 3. So here also same, what should be there that it should match with to get equals to 4? So can I say 2 square equals to 4? So can I write this 4 square, 4 as 2 square? So this 2 raised to n, it can be written as 2 square. So what is there in place of n? It is 2. So that means if you want to find the power n, your base this adds to be same. So you have to make this base same. So if 1.1 raised to n is equals to 1.331, so see to it that it should match with that value, the power. So here clearly we can see that when you multiply 11 into 11 into 11, you will get 1331. As here we have point, so it will come 1.331. So here clearly we can see that it's a cube of 11, so it can be written as 1.1 raised to 3. Okay, so comparing the power, if the base is same, so we have to consider the power. If the base is same, so here the power is equals to what? N. So here we got the value of n as 3 years. So this is the method in which you have to find the value of n. Okay, so once again, if I say 2 raised to n is equals to 8, see to it that you take of such value, one value in such a way that it should be equal to 8. So of course 2 raised to 3 is equals to 8. Further this 2 cube equals to 8 can be written as 2 cube. Yes or no? So here this n 8 can be written as 2 cube. So comparing this power, so n will be equals to 3. When we can compare the power if the base is same? See to it that when the base is same, we have to consider the answer as power. Okay, if base is same, the power will be your answer. If power is same, then the base will be your answer. So this is the method, a format and a concept in the mathematics. Okay, I hope you all understood the question number 10th as well. So as I told that question number 9th and 10th is the two only different sum and rest it is similar. In question number 9th we have to find the rate of interest, and question number 10 we have to find the number of years, and these two sums are very important for 3 to 4 marks. Sometimes they will ask for 3 marks, and sometime in many paper I saw they ask this sum for 4 marks. So these two sum I will say are the very important sum. So I hope you all understood the first 10 sum of your exercise. As now we completed 3-4 sums based on the first formula, 3-4 sums based on the second formula. So in the next video lecture we're gonna see 2-3 sums based on the relation and 2-3 sums based on the annuity due. As I told in the exercise there are 16 sums, so almost we had completed the first 10 sums of your exercise. Hardly we left with the 6 more sums. I guess 6 sums will be based on the third and the fourth formula, 3 sum based on the relation and 3 sum based on the annuity due. So in the next lecture we're gonna do the remaining sums. Okay, so till then, goodbye.